Hello and welcome to another episode of Women Locked Up Before and After. Today, this is the other video I was talking about that is very interesting. Stick around for this one because, anyway, I'm not going to get in the way. Here's the title: 6 Ways Women's Prison is More Horrifying Than It Looks on TV. Yeah. Okay, also, before I get started, this is not intended for children to be around to watch, so just letting you know, no children watches this. This is for, I guess you want to say, mature audience. TVMA or whatever you call that. It's not R-rated, something like that. I'm just saying. Just something kids don't need to be listened to. Okay. Thanks to Piper Kerman's best-selling book, Orange is the New Black, My Year in a Women's Prison, and the Netflix series is spawned, women's prisons have become a hot-button issue. Excuse me. That's the best way to address serious cultural failings. Sending in a quirky white girl to Ally McBeal the place. Orange is pretty posse for me, though. I spent 18 months in a minimum security prison after I was caught helping my boyfriend sell drugs. This is what life is really like on the inside. Okay, it's going to start from 6 and go down. There's 6 of them. Number 6. Sex between inmates is incredibly common, incredibly unsexy. If you expected me to tell you that the media exaggerates the amount of sex going on between female inmates, I'm dreadfully sorry to disappoint you or make your day depending. It wasn't my thing, personally, but I saw plenty of it. Exactly, I'm with this woman on that. Excuse me. Although it's practically, this word I had to look up. I bet you I still nope, it's not on there. Anyway, the word is ambiguous. It's practically ubiquitous. It's not exactly the steamy romps in the showers you see on TV or more ahem low-budget productions. First, you case the joint for a private place, usually a broom closet or a bathroom. They're not like public restrooms with stalls. We get to poop in peace and minimum security. Recruit a look. I've never been in minimum security, so I don't know. I thought, anyway. Recruit a lookout, then memorize the guards' routines to the point that you could do the job yourself if only they could see past the pesky, technically imprisoned here thing. Technically imprisoned here thing. The girls learn to prime themselves, so to speak, just prior to the intricately planned encounter because you got about 5 minutes tops to get the job done. Oh my God. This is the first time I'm reading this, so there's little romance involved. No chance of getting fully naked. Oh my God. Excuse me again. And you certainly never do it out in the open, so any idle fantasies of slow, sensuous shower orgies are relegated to Cinemax at 2 a.m. Besides, we have private showers anyway, is what she's saying. Because getting caught might mean a trip to maximum security. Oh, me. All this despite the fact that even the guards know how commonplace inmate sex is. In fact, the incoming prisoners are subjected to the most uncomfortable kind of entrance exam, a battery of STD tests. At the facility where I served, if you failed, you got housed separately from the uninfected women in the "Don't Bone Me" block. I told you this is the first time I've read this. It's crazy. "Don't Bone Me" block. Okay, that's why I said no kids. Okay, anyway. Otherwise, it would only be a matter of time before the whole unit came down with the crotch pox. Like crabs or something. Crotch pox. Okay. It should be noticed that this strategy was found to be seriously ineffective, but prisoners by and large are still not given across to condoms or other safe supplies for fear that it will condone sexual activity. And it's not like anybody in a prison would be down for breaking some rules. That was 6. Number 5. You better get friendly with the guards, but not too friendly. Officially, guards are not supposed to fraternize with inmates, not so much as "Did you see Game of Thrones last night?" may pass between us, but which is good because Game of Thrones spoilers will get you shivved. Or at least they should. But you do develop relationships with guards you like, and you depend on them to help you out if you need something. I didn't do that, but I seen it crazy. And it goes on. It does. Okay, hang on. I got something popped up on my screen. Okay. A guard's opinion if you can either mean a guard's opinion of you can either mean a few extra privileges or getting sent to max for a minor infraction. You better hope you can get in good with them. Not too good, though. Romantic relationships are shockingly common and carry dire consequences, which witnessed firsthand when a fellow inmate went all Romeo and Juliet with a male guard. They passed letters to each other. It was all very sweet, like a couple of kids in Miss Davis' 8th grade history class. Also, like Miss Davis' 8th grade history class, it was a massively effed, I'm not going to say that word, I don't try not to cuss on my channel, effed example of how to abuse your power. Their letters were found during a shakedown. It's not uncommon for the women to be aggressors, though. My roommate became psychotically obsessed with her work supervisor, and when she didn't let up after being repeatedly informed that he just wasn't ready to commit to a long-term sentence right now, she was transferred to a different area of work in order to cease all contact with him. She got off lucky because that would normally be a transfer to max. God forbid you have to friend zone a guard. That same roommate also became the object of unwanted affection from a female guard who wasn't too keen on I think of you like a sister with a taser. Wow. Line. I think of you like a sister with a taser line. The roommate told her caseworker what was going on. The caseworker said she would look into it, but never did. She got off lucky. You don't excuse a guard of anything if you can't prove it, because it will come down harder on you than it does on the guard. They protect their own, so it just went on. Excuse me. So it just went on, with my roommate being given extra duty and the guard constantly ordering our room shaken down, hoping to find contraband tampon or something. Find a contraband tampon or something. Oh, right. What in the world? It shows a picture of a tampon and says, number 4. Feminine products are tightly controlled for occasionally baffling reasons. Once again, why the kids don't need to be in the room. And there it is again. Anyway. Oh, right. Anyone who fought for bathroom shelf space with a woman can tell you that ladies have a unique set of needs when it comes to personal hygiene. When you're in jail, though, these things are tightly regulated for obvious reasons. Every time you want to shave your legs, you ask a guard who takes you to a padlocked supply room and solemnly bequeaths you the precious Lady Bic, which you have to sign out. Okay, first of all, this is now the clock is ticking. You've got half an hour to use the razor before you have to turn it in for them to throw away. Otherwise, the alarm bells start ringing because maybe you went off to go slit your wrist or somebody else's. So you rush to the shower. I dream a genie out of your clothes. Shave as fast as you can. Leap back into them and race to turn the razor in. Maybe thinking is that if you can manage all that and kill somebody with a safety razor in under a half an hour, you deserve to get away with it. Man. But on the razor thing, that's crazy because when I was in prison, they done the same thing. They passed razors out, but only once a month. But you can order them after you get striped out, which is another thing that I have talked about in other videos where I was at. They wore stripes, green and white, black and white, or red and white, which is the bad ones that get caught with cell phones or just bad in general. Just bad, bad, bad. Anyway, they're just different things and they're different classifications. It gets a little ridiculous when it comes to less dangerous items, though. You get a set amount of tampons and pads every month, which you have to specifically request and sign for. Oh, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. The razors in jail are different. They give you the razors once a week, and you gotta turn them in. Sometimes it depends on what workers there. They'll let it slide. They won't even make you turn it in, and you'll have extra or whatever. Some people actually take the razor out and they use it for other stuff, of course. But anyway, get to this. Imagine the awkward conversation you have with the guard if it turns out excuse me. Turns out you've got a particularly heavy flow that month. Sorry guys, if you're watching. What kind of havoc can you wreak with a tampon if you figure out something worse than huck it at somebody? You're an evil genius, and that prison will not hold you for long. 3. Smuggling contraband into prison is absurdly easy. If you ever get tired of government issue front plugs, oh my gosh, there's nothing stopping anyone from smuggling you in some Tampax. and it is nowhere near as sophisticated an operation as they show in movies and TV. There's no contraband being smuggled inside the food shipments or sailed in through the sewers. Prisoners who had the connections just had people walk up and throw things over the fence. Whatever could be smuggled was simply lobbed on over drugs, CD players, cell phones, you name it. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Lord have mercy. Smuggling things in with your fun parts was also a very popular method. They don't do full cavity searches, so as long as you've been doing your Kegel exercises, you can get an iPod shuffle past the guards no problem. I knew a woman who smuggled in meth inside her vagina, and another woman who smuggled in GD jewelry. I can't believe they put that word on there. We were standing outside talking one day when I noticed she was wearing a tongue ring, which isn't allowed. Oh, I forgot. Take it out, the woman said, before explaining how she got it in. This is meal number 2 now. There's plenty of people that get jewelry, like, mainly they don't. Some people get rings, but you know what they do with the rings? They propose to their women. Yeah, their girlfriends. Yeah, you got that right. And necklaces, the same way. They'll use it if they don't have a ring. They'll put that on their significant other. But what was the other one? Oh, the body jewelry. Like, for instance, if I went down, which, no, scratch that. I'm going back down there because I'm off, not even on papers anymore. What I'm saying, if I was to go down there with the piercings that I have, I didn't have these piercings when I was in there last time. When I got out, is when I got my piercings. I got my eyebrow pierced and my lip pierced. Which, that, and of course that, and yeah. It's like anyway, and my tattoos, of course, I got all that when I got out, except I had some old tattoos from before. Anyway, people would stick pieces of comb, like this right here, like the little bristles of this comb, the tiny piece, they'll take it off, literally, like that right there, and they would stick it through their, you can see little black dots on their thing, because it gets sticking out of their piercing, because they use the comb thing to go through the piercing hole. I don't know if you know about that or not, but anyway, that's how they kept their piercings pierced. And if a guard saw it, they would tell them to take it out, depending on which one it was. Of course, there's always ones that don't care, and don't care who does what with who, and what, and when, where, how. As long as you don't do it in their face. Anyway, now we are on number 2. Racial tensions run high. School, as in, it's in, I'll just show you. I hate when the thing's backwards on there, the mirror. You can't get it straight. There, anyway. Racial tensions run high. School. There are definitely tensions between inmates of different races. We all know that. But at least in the minimum security women's prison I attended, it's not exactly all out race riots. It's far more subtle than that. People do tend to stick to their own group, but we are all more or less thrown in there together, paving the way for all kinds of interesting conflict. As a white girl, I'm not going to pretend I've got it worse. Now, y'all, I'm reading this. This ain't me. But, anyway, as a white girl, I'm not going to pretend I've got it worse. But there is definitely a lot of resentment toward the white girls from the black and Latina inmates. That is true, though. I mean, that wasn't me. I'm reading her story, but yeah, that's true. That does happen. Usually we have shorter sentences for it. No, but anyway, have shorter sentences for a number of sometimes effed up reasons, and a lot of us had black boyfriends on the outside, which wasn't always looking kindly upon. Wasn't always looked kindly upon. That leads to all kinds of ridiculous little passive aggressive slights. I worked in the kitchen, which was predominantly staffed by black inmates, so that's where I felt it the most. Since the girls basically run the place, we decide who gets to do what, and I was constantly given the most mind-numbing and menial grunt work. I was even given less food, so on the plus side, I was all set to hit the beach by the time I got out. Okay. Oh, that's not. People of different races also buddy up to each other for the privileges enjoyed by each group. A white girl may buddy up to a black girl because the black guards tend to favor them. Or a black girl may buddy up to a white girl for access to her commissary. I've seen that happen, though. I've seen it. I'm not saying nothing racial. I'm just saying I've seen it. It's everywhere, and that's just all races. But I know what she's talking about. Because she's more likely to know people in the outside who have money. It's basically Mean Girls right down to the coordinated outfits. Okay, before we get to number one, got something to say about that. This is the last one. When she's talking about the commissary and coming up to him, people. Oh my goodness, that's one thing I know everybody knows that I'm talking about. If you've been locked up before, if you get to commissary, that's somebody who wasn't your friend or somebody who never even talked to you before ever is your friend when you get your commissary, but once your commissary's gone, they're gone too. Anyway, number one, you are largely responsible for your own medical care. I don't know why it shows a pregnancy test, but anyway, you get a gyno exam once a year, which is the pelvic down there exam once a year, and if you have any issues in between, well, you should have thought of that before prison, dummy. That's what it says. If you think you might have a yeast infection, for example, you're not seeing a doctor to confirm it. You're going to their tiny clinic and trying to talk a nurse into giving you some cream, sight unseen. Ugh. You better hope you've got a pretty good working knowledge of your body in general, because it's up to you to determine what's wrong with you and what you need. I suspect this is why prisons have libraries to facilitate a bunch of ladies with unusual swelling reenacting a seriously low-budget episode of House. That's a big reason why inmates are at much higher risk for a number of health problems like cervical cancer, and if you're pregnant, God help you, you get monthly doctor visits. They should be much more frequent as you get further along, and limited access to necessary ultrasounds. That's true. Very, very true. I knew a fellow inmate who was pregnant, and what I saw wasn't pretty. When she started complaining of unusual pain and other issues, they basically blew her off. Oh Lord, that happens all the time. I seen a girl literally almost have her baby in the zone because they was trying to. Because see, some of them would literally, like that video I made a while back about the inmate who cried wolf. That's why. Because people do that crap. They would send pregnant girls over there to, not just the one saying they wanted to go to PC or something like that, or said they had the chest pains and all that kind of stuff, so they can get over there to that little clinic over there that's actually for the men, but the women go only on a really life-threatening emergency problem. Chest pains and stuff like that. Anyway, pregnancy. But anyway, I know what she's talking about right here, because they done that so much. I mean, the same thing over there, and she's pretty much trying to Wait a minute, hang on. I'm sorry, I was like trying to read at the same time talking. I'm sorry. And my nose is stopped up. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, this is almost done. But what I was trying to say about the inmate who cried wolf, that threw me off when I was looking at something on here. A picture too. It was gross. Anyway, yeah, they would send pregnant chicks over there to say they was hurting their stomach. You know, they need to see the baby doctor or whatever because they think that. Well, they didn't have to be that far along. They could just be having pains and they're pregnant, and they're gonna think, oh, they need to see a doctor. Well, that's how they got packages from that too, from pregnant girls. They would send them over there, just do the dirty work or whatever. Anyway, uh, when she started complaining of other of unusual pain and other issues, they basically blew her off. Eventually, she started bleeding. So they finally took her to the hospital where she gave birth prematurely with complications. That's about the size of things, and it's a harrowing prospect for the about 6% of inmates who bring their fetuses along for the stay. But hey, it could be worse. In 33 states, you can be forced to give birth in shackles. That's what they do in Mississippi. Shackles and handcuffs. Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm pretty sure I don't deserve to bleed to death on a gurney. It's hard to change. This is what this woman's saying. It's hard to change to the prison systems in a society where more than 2/3 of people think convicts shouldn't even have the right to vote. But the maddeningly slow crawl toward progress continues. If the general public has to get their empathetic insight from Netflix original comedies, well, there are worse fates. It could have been on CBS. Well, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah. On now it's only showing pictures of people. These girls got locked in the back of a police car. It looks funny. They're like, oh my god, I'm in the back of a cop car going to jail. Oh my god. They don't know what's coming for them. I hate it for somebody going for the first time. Anyway, that's it. There are comments on that. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I'm not reading that comment. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what? I'm not reading that out loud. No way. Whew, that was bad. Ironically, that 2/3 of Americans who don't believe convicts should have the right to vote don't vote either. Well, yeah, most of them don't even vote anyway. I don't care to vote myself. Yeah, and somebody on here trying to say that this wasn't as bad as the TV does sound a little bit worse or something like that or something. This right here is only a hair of the situations and just all the stuff that happens in prison and jails and stuff. That's just a little glimpse of it. That's nothing. I mean, yeah, it's a lot. I mean, that's bad. I mean, what I'm saying, that's nothing. I mean, there's so much more than that. That's just like, you know, something to read here. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I made this when I had to. By the way, if anybody knows how to uh, get. Okay, I made a video the other night. Well, I think it was last night, not before. From Google Hangouts on screen recorder, all that stuff. Anyway, blah blah blah. Uh, Now my account says I can't go live for 90 more days. 90 more days. How am I going to do that? I mean, really? I mean, that's how I do my videos. If I can't upload one, I'll go live because it's quicker that way. And I don't know what I'm going to do. So if anybody knows how to appeal that or anything like that, I got a thing on my. It's because it had copyright content, obviously, that video, but that video didn't even come from YouTube. It didn't come from nothing like that. It was some off the wall video. Anyway, they did that, but there was no visual content that was took off or nothing. But I deleted the video, and I had some good comments on there that was really sweet from a couple of people. But I didn't mean to delete it. But I mean, I didn't want to, but I had to. But I still have the thing on me where go, I can't go live. So if anybody knows how to fix that, or can tell me what I need to do to try to fix that, please let me know. I really would love to hear what I need to do. Because you can't call YouTube, you can only email them. I hate that. You can only email them. That's the only thing you do. They should have it. If anybody agrees with me, please like this, because they should have a number to call them, not just email, or at least text, something you can get through to them faster. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching my video this time again, and please stay tuned for more. I have some more good stuff coming up, and like I said, I still have some for the men out there, and it's coming up also, so just bear with me, and please, like I said, help me if you know how to get that fixed to where I can get back on there and go live again, please, because I can't go without my live stream at least once or twice a week. I've been slacking here lately with videos. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do that now, please. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. Have a great day. God bless, and peace and love. Bye.